Hi, welcome back to another video. This is Core Beliefs. These are my contrarian takes. And for this question, it is, do I believe that the future of marketing is tech-driven, psychology-driven, or both? I would say the future of marketing is both. However, you can get away with marketing by just understanding the psychology that drives people to buy. And what I mean is, as more and more tech evolves, we have to come up with an understanding of how do you get in front of your ideal prospect. That's the tech-driven side. Is it going to be in an AI listing that produces results from a query? Is it going to be from somebody wearing, internet glasses with augmented reality and you have a pop-up show up? How is it going to be? So that tech is going to impact marketing. However, if you don't understand the psychology of why people buy and why they should pay attention to your offer, it doesn't matter how tech savvy you are, because your marketing will fail. Alternatively, if all you understand is the psychology, you can struggle to get the tech working. And as long as you can get your message out on a couple channels, you'll probably be successful. Because understanding the reason why people want to buy from you is going to be the thing that causes people to buy from you. Just understanding the tech by itself won't help. However, it doesn't hurt if you already understand the psychology and you add tech in. That's when things can get really powerful. So I believe it's both. Prime example of this is when I first really started marketing back in 2000, Google had just started using pay-per-click. And to understand the technology of how to use pay-per-click, I went back to the old greats and looked at the newspaper coupon ads that you'd cut out, because Google pay-per-click was essentially the same thing, just digital. As time moved on, they allowed you to do things like image ads and display ads on their network. So then you had to understand how magazine ad works. Right? So it's like old technology over again, but you'd have to understand the psychology of what caused those to work. So I dig into the past to see how this worked before, because now this new medium just delivered it faster. However, if you cut those channels out, your growth was stunted, because as new technology channels came in, people's understanding of ads also grew, and it was harder to get them to pay attention to you on just a singular channel. The greatest boost is whenever a new network comes along and adds marketing. For example, when Facebook first started doing ads, it was amazingly profitable. Look at TikTok. When TikTok started allowing you to run ads, it was also amazingly profitable. However, there are chains in technology that it's kind of a waste of time. Snapchat. It exists, and I'm sure people make money on it, but it's not as active as a channel as you'd think it would be. So that's a piece of technology that if you look at the psychology of the people of reason, like why people use that tech, it kind of makes sense to you why it doesn't work. Pinterest is close. Pinterest is like a specific market tech. So with Pinterest, you couldn't just throw anything up there, because the people who use Pinterest tend to be women in a certain age bracket who are married and live a certain lifestyle. So if you're targeting them, that's an ideal place to go. That's tech you want to know exists and be able to apply your marketing in it. But just because that channel exists does not mean you should be there. And I think that's going to happen a lot as technology increases. It'll become more and more apparent that there are certain places you just shouldn't advertise in, not because you can't make it work, but because it's not as profitable as spending your time and efforts on a different one. Anyway, I hope that gives you a better understanding of how I see tech and psychology when it comes to marketing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.